Carmen, you are to leave this house right now. What? Holly, what's going on here right now? I happen to know what you've been up to. You are after my husband's inheritance, right? His inheritance? You're telling me that I'm after your husband's inheritance? Like his money and stuff? And that is why you are working so hard to make sure he's taken care of by you now, correct? The fact that my son's wife is coming into this house and dealing with all of my husband's needs in order to get his money when he passes, that's you trying to swindle him and I, right? What exactly are you going on about right now? I know that I'm not going to get any of his inheritance the day he passes, and I've also never really talked with anyone about it to the point where I think I'd be getting it. Well, of course you'd never talk about it and say you don't expect to get anything from him because you're trying to steal it from us. I've seen that you're very good at making art on that laptop of yours. And what does that have to do with me supposedly going after your husband's inheritance? You seem to really know your stuff when it comes to making art on there, so you must also know your stuff when it comes to committing fraud and all that illegal stuff, too. I'm sorry, but I'm not sure where you see the connection in my abilities with computer design and doing things that are fraudulent. What has led you all this way to thinking something like that? Not only did you come out of nowhere saying all these things about me, but most of it doesn't even make any sense. All of my husband's inheritance is mine to keep. Wait, what I want to know is why, of all times, have you chosen now to start talking about things like his inheritance? This is all way too strange for me. I will not give you a single penny of it. Answer my question, Holly. What is all of this about? I have no idea what's going on right now. Cooper, I'm sorry. I'm going to be heading back home to my parents' house for a while. Actually, I'm already on the bus heading home to them now.
Oh, what? What's going on? Why are you going back to your parents' place?
Well, your mom started talking about all these strange things. I wasn't able to make any sense of it, and it seems that she's too far gone right now for me to get any answers from her. So I'll be away for a little while to try and give her some time to calm down.
So in other words, my mom has gone and started having more of those crazy delusions again?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm not sure what ended up happening, though, to start those delusions again, but I made sure to take some screenshots of the conversation I had with her. I'll send them to you now, and hopefully you'll be able to piece together what might have happened to her this time.
Sounds good.
Also, there's the whole thing of taking care of your dad.
Don't worry about it. I've been thinking about being around him more for a while now, so I'll take some time to stay home from the office, work remote. Also, it's not like my dad is completely helpless, as he still can do quite a few things on his own. I know things were probably a real headache again for you regarding my mom, but since you're heading all the way back to your parents' house, take the time to really relax there, please.
Thank you, Cooper. And thank you for taking care of your dad for me.
Have a safe trip home, okay? Carmen, I had a look through all the screenshots you sent me. What the heck happened here? Honestly, I want to know myself why right now, of all times, my mom is wanting to start talking about my dad's inheritance.
It's the same way I was feeling. Why would she be talking about it all right now?
By the way, when I got home from work today, my mom was standing at the counter with this large dinner made for me with a huge grin on her face.
Oh?
Do you think that I can go show my dad all these screenshots you sent me?
I don't really care what you do with them, but is that going to be all right for him?
Well, I'm not really sure I can say things will be fine with him. But right now is the best time for him to see something like this.
You think so?
If my dad starts to give me some details on what's going on here, gives me the go-ahead to tell you about it, I will. But, I'm starting to think that all this is only going to get worse for everyone involved before things start to get better again.
I kind of agree with that. But this is something that he should be aware of too, I guess, so please let him know about it.
Thank you. I will.
Carmen, you don't have to ever come back here again, okay? Holly. Well, even if you do come all the way back here, I'm not going to let you back into this house. I still haven't really come around to understanding what all you're talking about, Holly. The whole reason I came back to my parents' house is because I started to realize that you weren't going to calm down any for some time now. So I'll be staying here with them for a little while and you won't have to worry about me. Excuse me, I am always calm. If anything, I am so calm all the time that I was able to see right through your lies and could tell that you were trying to go after my husband's inheritance. But the thing is, I'm not after any of his money. I know that as of right now, there's not really any sense in talking to you at all, as you're still a little bit out there, so for the time being, I'll be at my parents' place. And you don't ever have to come back here. My things are all still over at your house, though, so there will be some point in the near future where I have to stop by and get everything. But for a little bit, I'll be out of your way. Goodbye now. Cooper, I just received a few more texts from your mom. As far as I can tell, things aren't going to work out with her.
I see.
How are things going with you and your dad? Has he said anything about those screenshots you've shown him?
He has. And I was actually getting ready to tell you all about it once I had the chance. He's told me that this is pretty good timing, actually, for some things he had in mind, so he's going to make his move really soon.
I see. Well, as long as he has a plan in mind, then I guess we're good here.
I think by the beginning of next month he'll be ready to move, so you and I can work alongside him. Alright?
Sounds good. Hey, Carmen, why have you come all the way back here? We talked about how I'd have to come over one more time to grab all of my things last month, right? I get it. You said that to me before, but I know in reality you're here to take all of our things that you can and make a little extra money on selling to thrift stores, right? I will not allow that to happen. Then you can stand watch over me as I pack the rest of my things up and get out of here. And actually, you are in the house with me right now, so why are you texting me all of this when you could just come up to me and talk? I have no idea what dangerous things you could do to me, so I won't get anywhere near you. Is that right? Have you come around to understanding that all the things you keep saying are totally mind-boggling? I don't have time to think about that. Now get out of here. I will not allow my daughter-in-law to come into this house any longer and take what my husband has from me. I feel so sorry for my son getting all caught up in your scheme to swindle this whole family. He must have no clue about you. Well, there's no money here for low-life frauds like you. You divorce my son right now and leave us all alone. I'm already on my way out of here. And the divorce happened a while ago. What? That's why I'm here right now, grabbing the rest of my things and am making my way out of here. I only have a few more things to grab here, so can I stop texting with you for the time being? And as far as the key to this house, I'll leave it in the mailbox for you once I get outside. Is that so? Finally, you've given up. Don't you ever step foot on this property ever again, you hear me? Carmen, what the hell is this? What's going on now? When all you say is this, I have no idea what you're talking about, so how about you give me a little more detail first? My husband left me some divorce paperwork and left this house. And following right behind him, Cooper. I know that you were the one that took a hold of those two and forced them to leave me here. Give me back my family.
Can I ask you something really quick?
What?
I'm not sure if you're going to give me a comprehensible answer to this or not, but thought I might as well try asking. All of this stuff about me going after your husband's inheritance and such, where did you end up hearing about that? Who or what told you that I was going after his money?
Huh? Oh, you of all people should already know the answer to that one. Your parents' bakery went under, and now they have a lot of money that they have to pay to the banks because of all the money that they borrowed.
What?
And as you've been running around trying to find where to get that money to help them pay off their debts, you started to eye up my husband's money.
My parents' bakery? As far as I'm aware, their bakery is still in business, and they haven't had to borrow any sort of money from the bank.
Huh? But a little while back, I had walked by where their bakery normally was, and it was turned into a 24/7 shop.
Well, about that, my parents moved locations.
They moved the bakery?
They started to listen to some of their customers' feedback, and what a lot of them were saying is that the bread and all is nice, but that the store was too small. So they went ahead and rented a new location just down the street that's almost double the square footage. And that's where they moved their shop into. Didn't someone tell you about this?
What?
By the way, if that bakery was really in a bad situation and went under, I would have said something about it to everyone, and so would Cooper. Also, when it comes to my father-in-law, his legs are not that bad, and he can still pretty much do all of his daily routine on his own.
How the heck did his inheritance come into play recently?
Don't you feel a little bit stupid bringing something like that up when there has been nothing related to it at all?
Well,
It's because you really went off the deep end this time that your husband went and asked for a divorce.
That's right. Where is he right now?
Cooper came out to see me and my parents here at my parents' house. But I'm not sure where your husband went.
What? But Cooper is with you. You both got a divorce, right? Why would he be with you at your parents' house right now if you got a divorce?
Because just a second ago, we went and got married again at the courthouse.
Why would you go through all that trouble?
Because it seems that this time Cooper wants to receive my family's name in the marriage, and so that's what he's done.
Excuse me?
This is all stuff that I think Cooper would much rather talk to you about himself. So I'm going to get going and let him have a conversation with you now.
What's going on here?
Mom?
Cooper.
To start things off, Dad went and entered a retirement home, just like he had been wanting to do.
A retirement home? Why the hell would he do that? Oh, what's all of this about right now? Did he do something like that to try and hide from Carmen? That's what happened here, right? And now she's forcing you to remarry her and take on her family's name.
When is this going to end, Mom?
What?
The reason that I want to take her family's name in this marriage is because I want to.
But why would you do that?
Because I freaking hate being your son.
Huh?
Whenever the smallest things change, you start to have these freaking delusions about what happened and go completely off the deep end, making up this story that has no meaning to it. Then you start to get people who have no involvement in whatever you're going on about involved. And from there you start pinning them as the culprit and start to either treat them with disdain, or you completely push them away thinking you're the victim of something that's not even happening. This time was the last straw for me, Mom. Things like this have gone on for far too long with you, and I don't want anything to do with it anymore. And this time by far has been the worst, since you went and had my wife kicked out the house and then asked for her to divorce me. Calling her a fraud, saying that she was after Dad's money, and the same thing goes for Dad in this situation. He's still young. He's not in any sort of bad shape. So why would you start talking about his inheritance like he's going to die soon? You are completely lost, Mom.
No, wait, I didn't mean to.
I'm done with your crap, Mom.
Cooper.
I'm no longer forgiving you for behaving that way. This is the end of you and I. I'm cutting ties to you.
You would never.
You should be able to understand now why Dad wanted to get a divorce from you.
What?
After this, you'll have to talk with his lawyer about it.
He's gotten a lawyer involved now?
Well, he's had to, because no matter what anyone tries to tell you, you make it all about yourself and only fall deeper into your delusions. So he'll have a lawyer handle all of the legal things for him, considering the lawyer is more capable of handling crazies like you.
No way.
Goodbye forever.
Armin! Oh, please would you lend me $50,000? I'm on the lookout for a lawyer right now that will be able to help me beat my husband in court so that we don't have to get this divorce. As long as I can get enough money to afford one of these super strong lawyers, then my husband will have to listen to me and will never be able to leave my side. So that's why I need that $50,000. If your parents' bakery is all fine and still in business, then that means you must still have plenty of money yourself, right? I'll make sure to pay you back with my husband's inheritance someday.
So, your delusions are starting up again?
What?
I have no reason to help you battle my father-in-law in court. Go see yourself a therapist or something now. Bye-bye. In the end, it became pretty clear to everyone why Holly was always so delusional about everything going on in her life, and why she always claimed to be the victim. It turns out that growing up, she had been incredibly spoiled by her parents. And going through school and college, she was always the pretty girl. Because of all that, she had this massive pride that soon led to her thinking that everyone else was wrong and that she was right. Both Cooper and I learned about all of this from his dad when we next went and saw him at the retirement home. He and Cooper both told me a bunch of stories about how she'd always have these delusions about things like relationships, the news, the government, and so on, which would cause the both of them quite a bit of stress at times. But this last time, when she was going on about wanting her husband's inheritance and that she wouldn't let me get a penny of it, Cooper's dad was no longer comfortable with her anymore. He is still young after all, so there shouldn't be any sort of talk about his death and his money right now, which is what ended up breaking his heart. And that's why he had to divorce her and get out of the house. After the divorce was approved and made final, Holly went back to her parents' old house. But things didn't get any better there, and she began to cause issues for many people in her family, to the point that one day they called the mental health services on her and had her taken to a hospital to be treated. She's gone through many kinds of medications now in search of one that can calm her delusions down, but it will take even more time to get her to stop having them entirely. There are times where she does get to go back to her parents' house for short periods of time, but during those times she's not allowed out of the house and must stay in the basement so that she's not overstimulated.